What's up, fam? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Empire, Season 5, Episode 8. Now, this episode, it looks like they just kind of laying the foundation. Next week is the fall finale. Y'all know I hate that damn fall finale shit, but that's what's going on. And so we start the episode off. We see that Candace still ain't talking to Cookie. She's not taking her phone calls and all that good stuff. Jamal is on, like I guess like a Good Morning America type show where he's performing. Oh, excuse me, y'all. He's performing his new single, and he's telling everybody how happy and how in love he is, and that the showcase is coming up and it's gonna be great. And so, he starts talking about Kai, and Kai's actually in the room. When you could tell that Kai is really not comfortable. Like, anybody in the room could see that he really wasn't trying to have the spotlight. But Jamal, being so caught up in being in love, he gonna announce to everybody how, Kai's his man and how they get ready to get there engaged and all that good stuff. And so we see later on in the episode, Kai's pissed off because he goes to work and his credibility as a journalist is being questioned now because he's dating a pop star. And so we see that, that's going to probably be that's going to probably be some strife in their little relationship. Oh, Lord. Like, all of a sudden I got tired. We also see a couple of flashbacks this episode. We see when Lucius gave Cookie that painting that he had to go get a forgery of. We also see where Cookie and Lucius were having some problems when they were suing Eddie and they kept losing. And basically, Lucius was blaming Cookie for it, because she actually gave the company over to Eddie. And you see where they get into an argument. She goes off to the bar to have a drink and cool down. That's when she runs into Derek Cross, the guy from the poker game 2 weeks ago. So we see how they met each other and how their paths crossed. He flirted with her. She told him she was, married. They rode the elevator together. He sort of finagled his way onto the elevator with her, and I think he was bullshitting. The elevator conveniently got stuck, and he was able to sort of tell her a little bit of his story. But, nothing more went down, but you see where they first met. All right. Kingsley is tripping because, now Kingsley's only goal now is to just bring Lucius down. So he makes an announcement at the staff meeting, that he's getting ready to vote all of Lucius's music. Anything that Lucius has a credit on in Empire, he's putting it in the vote, and he's no longer going to sell it. Knowing that basically Lucius and Cookie are living off of those royalties at this point. Like, that's the only money they really have regularly coming in, is the money from his record sales. So somebody actually spoke up in the meeting and was like, that's a dumb move. And he was like, well, Disney did it and they increased the value of all of their, because remember when Disney would say, this is the last time you could buy Cinderella and, it's going in the vault. And then like 5 years later, they'd bring it back out. And of course, everybody run out and get it because they hadn't been able to buy it. And the guy was like, yeah, but Disney would let people know so that they could go ahead and run out and buy it. And, they would basically make money on the front and on the back end. So Kingsley was like, you like Disney, huh? Your kids like Disney? Well, and the guy was like, yeah, I'm taking them to Disney, over Christmas. He was like, I don't know how you're going to do that without a job because you're fired. So, of course, Becky and Giselle are like, what the fuck? So Becky lets Lucius know. Now, you remember Becky... She told Lucius she wouldn't give him that, she wasn't going to leave her job at Empire and all of that. But you see when the going gets tough, when she's still letting Lucius know. She was like, look, I'm just letting you know what's going on because I don't want you to be blindsided. She was like, so basically I'm just giving you a heads up that they about to shelve your shit. And so Lucius is like, he's trying to choke me. Like, he knows this is my money. And they basically putting all their eggs into this showcase basket. They are pretty much over budget. And I'm all over the place with this review because this episode was all over the place, so bear with me. And Lucius decides that he's going to mortgage the house to make sure they have the money for the showcase. And Cookie, of course, is like, why are you going to do that? And he was like, look, scared money don't make none. We gotta believe in ourselves. We got to do this. Now, mind you, Cookie's still sitting on that daggone loft in Soho that she has that she, won't sell. So she's feeling guilty about that because she's like, Dad, he don't really need to mortgage the house. Like, I really could sell this. But she still want to sort of keep that ace in her back pocket. You see her have a conversation with her sister about it. Not Candace, the other sister. And her other sister was like, look, after everything you and Lucius done been through, you're not wrong for wanting to keep a back door open. And I don't think you should feel guilty about it. Like, it is what it is. Cookie goes to Candace and tries to plead, like, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause any problems with the family, with your son. But I just really didn't see at the moment everything was happening and he was going to kill you. Candace was like, have you ever called the police on Andre? And she was like, that's different. Andre wasn't trying to kill me. And, of course, Candace was like, yeah, it's always different when it's you. But your son is a damn felon that didn't kill people. But you ain't called the police on him, but you called the police on my son. And now he's sitting in a mental institution, drugged up, and your son is fine. And so you can see that there clearly was no reconciliation there. Candace done put Cookie out the house, and Cookie's like, damn, I don't think she's ever going to forgive me. So we're going to get back to that in a minute. So then, what else was going on? So Giselle and Becky hook up. Becky's like, what is up? Like Kingsley is losing it. What's our next move? Like, we what's up with the black girl magic? What we doing? And Giselle was like, don't worry about it. I got this covered. Remember, Giselle got the private detective. Because I was sitting here thinking, before, like, at the beginning part of this episode, I was sitting here thinking, how, with everything Lucius know he got this beef with Kingsley or whatever, why Lucius ain't put no private detective or put Thirsty or whatever on trying to, because it can't be that hard to figure out who his mama is. It just can't be that hard. But my question was answered because Giselle's private detective figured it out. So now Giselle got the ammunition. She knows who Kingsley's mama is. She knows that Kingsley's mama got strung out on drugs, and she knows that Kingsley's mama was hanging out with Lucius around the same time that Kingsley was born. So she done put it all together. Now she got some ammunition. Later on in the episode, Kingsley gone to visit his mama. He going to the hospital room, and who's sitting up in the room? Giselle. She like, hey. And of course he was like you could buy him for a nickel. He was done. He was like, what the hell? And Giselle was like, we got some. She said, you know what? She basically let him know, I know who you are, I know who your mama is, and I know your connection to Lucius. But we ain't here to talk about the past. Let's talk about my future. So we don't know what kind of deal they brokering, because that's where that little thing left off. All right, Maya done came around, and I ain't figured out because Maya said her and her boyfriend broke up and she needed some place to stay because her and her parents weren't really on speaking terms. And, of course, Cookie gave her the tough love act. But Cookie said you could stay here. She let her stay there. She said, but you going to work. Like, don't nobody stay up in my house for free. But then, as soon as Cookie, walked away, she sort of had this little smirk on her face. So I'm wondering what her deal is. Like, what's really good with Maya? I ain't really trusting her in this whole situation with the boyfriend and stuff. Because, remember, she married to not married, but she was dating a little pimp, little hustler dude. So he might have been putting her up to some stuff because she was sprung. So she might be in the house on some whole nother agenda. We ain't really figured that out yet. We ain't got that far yet. All right. Hakeem and Blake. So, her name Tatiana, whatever. His girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, baby mama, whatever she is. She went to him and was like, Hakeem, you really need to end this situation with Blake. Hakeem was like, I did. Like, I went on Instagram and I said it's dead. She was like, but now I'm getting threats. They're threatening the kids, and that's off limits. Like, so you need to go talk to Blake, and you need to get him to end this, because his fans are out of control, and you need to get him to take care of that. So Hakeem goes to confront Blake. Blake got a house full of dudes. Hakeem showed up with his little posse, and Hakeem is like, and Blake was on this whole, look, it was a misunderstanding that got blown out of control. Let's erase it and let's move forward. And Hakeem was like, I accept your apology. Blake was like, oh, I wasn't apologizing. I was just saying let's just move forward. Like, I'm not going to apologize because I ain't do nothing wrong. And he was like, so you all in my house, and he said something about cooking dinner for the kids and stuff. So that set Hakeem off. When Hakeem found out that Blake was in his house and cooking dinner for his kids and stuff, So he gonna pull a damn gun on Blake. So of course everybody in the room got guns. Everybody got a gun on everybody else. Blake was like, Hakeem, I'm not scared of you. So when Hakeem pulled the gun out, Hakeem was like, you scared of me now? Blake was standing there, I guess kind of like, no, I'm still not scared of you. And so Hakeem was like, look, you fixed it. You tell your fans to back off. You fixed this. And that's how they roll out, right? So we'll get back to that. Anyway, we'll get back to that. Okay. So Lucius' thing is this. Lucius is like, look, if he was like, I know how much money my catalog made for Empire. If he's shelving my catalog, he has to have another source of income. It's nowhere in the world that he would be able to justify making that move to the investors if he couldn't still show some income. And so they're trying to figure out how they can get into Empire's book so they can figure all of this out. They were like, how can we get in there? Can we get Giselle? Do we trust her? Like, who can we get to get this information for us? So Thirsty called up his old grasshopper. Remember him and Becky had like this little mentor relationship at one point. He calls Becky up and Becky was like, look, that's not my family. They not your family either. The Lions only care about the Lions and I ain't trying to be a part of it. And Thirsty was like, I hear what you're telling me, but how come when you found out what they were going to do to Lucius's catalog, you came and told him? So you really do care about him. He was like, look, all I need you to do is just put this in his computer and we'll do the rest. That's all I need you to do is just get that in the computer. So it's like a key that's going to unlock the file so they can bypass the encryption and all that other stuff. You know, some more high tech shit. So Becky decides she agrees to do it. And Kingsley catches her in his office. But she plays it off pretty cool, and she tells him that she's there by her bonus. She was like, look, I know you're trying to hurt Lucius, but at the end of the day, you hurting me too. Because I actually was making some money off of some of those residuals because I have credits on some of those albums. And he was like, Becky, don't worry about it. You know, I got, you've been loyal to me and I got your back. He was like, I know Lucius tried to poach you and you stayed loyal to me, so I got you. He was like, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to double your salary. That should be okay, right? That should take care of any money you lost, whatever. And at that point, I thought Becky was going like not go through with the plan. She was like, oh, for real? You going to double my salary? She was like, I got your back. But she did end up putting the key in there, right? So what they found out was that Kingsley is selling the streamers' information, like the people who pay for that subscription to but they had that online streaming system where you could buy a subscription to it. So he's actually selling that information. He's in cahoots with the government, and he's selling those people's names and those people's information to the government, which of course is a breach of the agreement that those people signed when they signed up for this streaming service, that their information wouldn't be resold to telemarketers and all that kind of stuff. So Thirsty is ready to go to the newspaper and expose it. And Lucia was like, it can't come from me. Because if it comes from me, it looks like I'm just on some personal vendetta and it really won't have any sort of legitimacy to it. They were like, we need to get it to a legitimate news source so that it can be presented in the right way. Well, enters Kai. Lucius goes to Kai and gets Kai to do the story. And Kai's like, all right, I'll do the story. But just so you understand, I'm going to go wherever this story takes me. Basically letting Lucius know, if you got some shady shit going on your end, it's going to come out. Like, I'm going to be real upfront about this whole situation. Lucius was like, do what you got to do, but I need you to put this out. I need you to expose this situation. So, all right. I think that's all the preliminary storylines, y'all. Okay, so Candace is still pissed off. So Candace got her ace in the hole. What is her ace in the hole? The fact that she knows about Lucius's Cookie's little loft that she didn't sell. So Candace comes over to the house and tells Lucius, talking about so you see how much your ride or die really trusts you, how much your ride or die really believes in you, because she been holding on to this whole time. And Lucius was like, you let me, because he done went out and mortgaged the house and everything for this showcase, and he was like, you let me mortgage the house, like you let me put everything on the line, and you've been sitting on this. He said, we sitting up here with no air conditioner, we ain't got no food in the refrigerator, and you sitting on this the whole time. And so him and Cookie end up getting into an argument, right? At the same time they get into an argument, Tatiana is upstairs arguing with Hakeem, or in another part of the house arguing with Hakeem. She was like, look, all you had to do was go over there and apologize. Now you done made this into a bigger situation. It's become a more volatile situation. I'm taking my kids and we getting up out of here. And so Hakeem finally said what I've been thinking this whole time. He was like, you ain't going nowhere with Bella. Bella ain't even yours. And she was like, well, you act like she not yours either. I love that girl. Get out my way. And so she has the little boy. Well, you're not going nowhere with my son. Bring me my son. Bring me my son. So they get to arguing, right? So Lucius and Cookie are arguing in one side of the house. Hakeem is arguing with old girl in another part of the house. And their argument sort of convened. And Cookie was like, what's going on here? And Hakeem tell Cookie to mind her business. Lucius tell Hakeem, don't talk to your mama like that. And they going at it, right? The four of them are arguing back and forth. Who walks up in the room with a gun pointing at them talking about some pow pow? Bella. Bella done found one of Hakeem's damn guns. And she's pointing at them. So, of course, everybody now is like, oh, shit. They're like, Bella, come here. Bella, baby, just walk. Come to, Hakeem saying, come to me. Cookie saying, come to grandma. Bella ain't going to none of them. Then she going to turn the gun on herself. And that's where the episode ends. Honey, if they better not. I tell you what they better not do. They better not. So anyway, y'all, that's where the episode ends. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I don't know. I don't even know no more. Next week is the fall finale. I don't know. Peace.